Hello, this is MD Redmon, and we here with K Beats. I love when you told me that earlier. K Beats, that is so unique, and people are familiar with the word beats. She's our special guest today on Coastal Spotlight, and I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, she is serious about what she does. But right now, I'm going to let her properly introduce herself.
What's up, you guys? I'm Kayla Beatty, and I'm from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I go by KB or K Beats, and I'm a photographer and media creator here from the Gulf Coast.
From the Golden Gulf Coast.
Yes, sir.
Media creator.
Mm-hmm.
Could you elaborate on that?
Well, I started out doing photography. I eventually moved into video. I went to school for graphic design. So whenever it comes to media, if I don't already know how to do it, I'd say that I could at least learn. That's definitely where my skill set lies.
Wow. See, that's amazing because usually people have a passion on something, but they already trying to count dollars, meaning instead of learning first, trying to figure out what this do, what that do, then you can, once you learn that, you can control, your devices, the technical part of being in photography. So I see you have a passion with that first instead of, trying to get money, right?
Absolutely. I more so, I think, have a passion in storytelling. So any medium that I can tell a story through still counts, whether it's music or photography or making a YouTube video or a movie, any of those. And they all fall under the same basic skill set. Any medium that it takes, I think that the fundamental thing that I'm passionate about is being able to tell a story. So to be able to do it in 100 different ways is even cooler than to just be able to do it through a photograph.
Wow, that is very amazing. I'm learning as we go, and we just jumped into this interview. Let's relax a little bit, because I see I'm gonna have to put my smart hat on to talk to you and interview you today. Yes, indeed. So let me pop on that smart hat and let me jump right back into it. Okay, we talking about photography, videography. We talking about media. We're talking about movies. We talking about painting pictures in your mind first, and then you make it come true.
Yep. Bring it to fruition.
Bring it to fruition through pictures, right?
Yep.
So your brain never sleeps.
Oh, no. I have the attention span of a gnat. I swear.
Whoa.
My family makes fun of me because I hate going to the movie theater. I literally make movies for a living. I hate going to the movie theater because something will strike an idea in me, and I have to sit there and wait till the movie ends before I can go, play with that in my head. And when I was a little kid, I would complain whenever they would go watch a new movie. I'd be like, oh, I have to sit there for 2 hours. Are you serious? Because I just can't sit still.
Whoa. But you just anxious to do what you love. So there's nothing wrong with that. So keep on being a jitterbug. I love that because those ideas are just ready to burst. And I know you can't keep still when something getting ready to burst.
Yes,
you
sir.
Just got to write it down or put it in your phone or do something. And right now we're in the world of the cell phone. So I know that's like a baby to you, right?
It's perfect. I have a running notepad in my phone because if I have an idea and I'm doing something else, you can't go execute that right now. And I have if anybody else read it, it probably wouldn't make sense. But I have a running notepad of things I would like to execute eventually that are just little ideas that pop in. And it's so great to have a phone because you can just write it down. You don't have to go find a pen and paper. We're living in the age where you can be creative all the time, which is really cool. And you can put it out for people all the time, too. You got Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. You can make podcasts. It's perfect.
So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, do you hear this young lady? You think she's been here 3 times already. The knowledge that she is dropping at the age she is at is... I'm just overwhelmed with your intelligence. Yes, I am. I just want to applaud you on that first.
Thank you.
But like she said, you don't have to just text and just call people on the phone. Your phone can do so many things.
It can.
So, let me ask you this. I was class, meaning you a jitterbug and you got all these ideas in the class you in. You probably just aced them, just ready to get to your creativity.
Let me tell you about this experience I had in college with one of my professors. He's a really great guy. Actually, I'm friends with him now after I graduated, but I was in a high-level journalism class. I went to school for journalism. And the purpose of the class was to make video packages that were journalistic, but a part of it is you had to post it to your own website. And so this teacher gave us hosting for a year for free that we would build our website on. And so I was in his class, and I did good. I made okay grades. But the point of the class was to, do the work and then get graded on it. And just that has never sat well with me. School has never sat well with me. So during his class, I just completely ignored the fact that I had a video package due. And I built my website that he gave me for free to be a vessel for my photography business. Because why would you not if you have a free hosted website?
Right.
And it was my name. It's KaylaBeatty.com. And he asked me to meet him after class one day, and he was like, do you have your project for this week? And I was like, I will by the time it's due. And he was like, well, I noticed that you weren't working on it at all today in class. And I was like, I mean, I could have worked on it. You're still going to get it on time, I promise you. But I also have these sorority girls that need a portrait session done by the end of this week, and I want to have a website to send them so I can say, yeah, I'm a professional. And he goes, okay. All right, that's fine. You can work on whatever you need to in class. Just make sure you have your stuff done.
Wow.
And he's now one of my biggest supporters and like one of those people that I really confide in. So if I'm ever having issues with my business, I can call him up because he gave me my website, he gave me a chance, and I really appreciate him.
Well, that's great. I want to salute him for understanding.
Absolutely.
And not holding you back.
He didn't have to understand like that.
He could have. Right.
He could have reprimanded me for sure.
Absolutely. When you're not paying attention and you're working on something else. But he understood, and I just have to salute him for that. Okay, let's jump back into this right here. As a photographer, your first love is a camera. So, let me ask you this before I ask you about your first camera.
Okay.
When did you wake up and say, you know what? I want to do photography. And you told your parents that that's what you wanted to do.
Let's see. I was definitely in high school.
Okay.
And it actually took a little adjusting because I always liked playing with cameras. My grandfather is a professional photographer.
Wow.
So I always had the opportunity to play with it, but it wasn't my thing.
Right.
So I'd say the middle of freshman year of high school, I had really been getting into sports photography, and I went to every football game, and I took photos, and I was like, I'm not very good at this, but I really, really like it. And so I think it was that Christmas I asked my parents for my own camera. So I think that was the day that I woke up and I was like, you know what? We're going to learn how to do this, and we're going to be good at it.
Wow.
I want a real big girl camera. It was freshman year of high school.
Wow. So when you got your camera, I just know it just lit your world up.
Oh, that was the only Christmas present I got that year.
Yes, I can imagine. But you understood what it took for your parents to get that. You appreciated that
Absolutely.
They got it for you. And you took that camera and you just went on. You still going up to the moon and back. So, I just want to say, at your age, it's just amazing to hear someone that's not bored of taking pictures. What gives you the energy, the joy, and the love to keep on doing it?
I think there's always something to learn, and that's what really keeps me excited. So my first camera I used for probably 6 or 7 years, and it's not the best camera. It's a Canon Rebel. T2, and I think they're up to like the T7 or 8 now. It wasn't the best, but you could change the lenses on it, so you can make it a little bit better. But the most fun part about still taking pictures is that you can learn how to use new equipment. You can meet new people and tell new stories. Like, it doesn't get boring if you just go out and do it. See, I don't know. If I took a picture of you every single day, that might get boring, but that's not what I have to do. I can take a picture of you today and someone else tomorrow and get to know their whole life story.
Right.
So I think that is what keeps me interested, is I get to use it as a vessel to really meet people and kind of explore humanity and stuff.
Absolutely, because as long as you have that kind of focus, I'm gonna give it to you like this: you're going after a never-ending story.
Yep.
The story never ends because you meet interesting people every day, and
There's always more.
yeah, always more, always more. I like that. I love your philosophy on.
You get to do that in your job too, because
Right.
the people you interview, there's always a new story. There's always something more.
Always something more, and I want to hear. I want to hear it. I want to be
Yeah,
a
that's
part
the
of that.
exciting part.
Yeah, that's what makes it exciting. So to the listeners out there, if you're in photography, it's a never-ending story. The story never ends because you're going to meet interesting people every day, and we're not going to
Absolutely.
run out of humans.
Nope, no time soon.
No time soon. So K Beats, you like that? Can I call you that?
Yep, that's my Instagram handle. It's KBeats Photos.
I like that. K Beats. All right. So you got your first camera. You said you had it for almost like 7 years, right?
Yep.
Okay. What was your second camera, and why did you choose that camera?
My second camera was another Christmas present, actually. It is a 70D crop sensor Canon. You can change the lenses on it. It's a DSLR. And basically, I knew that I couldn't afford a camera because I was in college at the time, but I needed to upgrade. And so I asked my parents, not really expecting anything, but I kind of threw it out there, and I was like, I really would like to upgrade, but I want a camera that I can use the lenses that I've already bought with. So it's an upgraded version of the camera I have next. It's the next series. It's a little bit higher grade, and but it was less expensive than the super professional cameras. So I was able to still use my lenses. I wouldn't have to reinvest in that, and I still use that camera to this day. So
That's amazing.
it does good.
That is amazing. I see that you really do research on taking pictures, and that means a lot to someone that's going to hire you for your service. That means a
Absolutely.
lot. You have camera knowledge. We're going to back up a little bit because you said something about DSLR, and I was like,
Yes.
I'm looking around like, what is that?
So
Tell our listeners.
a DSLR camera is just a digital SLR camera. So that's a camera with a mirror that the photons will go into the front of the lens. It'll bounce off a mirror and it'll hit a set of sensors. And so the pixels and the sensors is what shows you the photograph. So in the olden days, it would have been film. It would hit a mirror and hit film, and that light would expose the film. Now with a digital SLR camera, it exposes a set of pixels, and that set of pixels is what saves to your SD card and what you get to post on Instagram.
Wow.
So that's the mechanics of a camera. Y'all can look that up on YouTube and get a little more in-depth explanation, but that's basically how it works.
I'm telling you, I'm going to rewind this podcast about 3, 4, 5 times. She is dropping camera knowledge.
You got to know what you're doing to be in the business.
You got to know. This is going to blow you away. You think I'm talking to somebody that's 40 or 50 years old. I know that's what y'all thinking.
And I got ID'd on the way in here.
And she got ID'd on the way in here. Yes, indeed. Let our listeners know how old you are.
I am 23 years old.
23 years old. So and she's been doing this for how long now?
We're going on 10 years. I started when I was 14.
10 years. So that should let you know you don't have to be old to have a strong passion for what you love. You can start at a young age and pursue it. And this young lady here has been a lot of places,
Yes, sir.
in film and photography. Name some of the places you've been.
In college, I worked for Ole Miss and SEC Network doing sports. I think that was one of the coolest jobs I've ever had, and I still go back sometimes whenever they need me to do that live camera kind of action. I've been all over the country. I've been to Atlanta, Miami, did swim week in Miami. I go to New York quite often, LA, Vancouver, just on different trips, doing different kinds of photographs, some editorial stuff, some sports, some modeling. I try to put my feet into everything that I can.
Yes, I think I'm gonna wake up and make sure I do something with my life after hearing this story. Yes, indeed.
Goofy.
Woo. I'm just tired hearing about what you do. Yes, at 23 years old.
I think it's one of those things where people, I think a lot of people dream big, but
Right.
nobody ever gets up and does something every single day. I think that's the most important part. Like, I get up in the morning, so I don't have a 9 to 5 job.
Okay.
I work all the time, though.
Right.
So I give myself the weekends off, but every day, Monday through Friday, I'll wake up, I'll make a to-do list, and I'll do something
right.
that will get me towards whatever my next goal is.
Wow.
So I think the best advice I could give someone who wants to, follow their dreams and not work for the man and do whatever it is you have to actually get up and work every day.
Wow.
You have to wake up, figure out what you want to do, whether it's build your website. If I don't have a photo shoot on a day, I'll work on my website. I'll build a new pricing structure. I'll contact clients that haven't reached out in a while. I think you have to actually get up and work every day if you want to work for yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm officially going to rethink my whole life after this interview. I'm going to get some newborn energy from this interview. So it's like a double-edged sword. But did y'all hear this at 23 years old? Did y'all hear the philosophy, the intelligence coming out this young lady is just overwhelming. I am so glad to have her here today. When you wake up, you have to do something. If you don't want to work for the man, you have to become the man or the woman. You still got to work.
Yep. That's that thing. I missed that for about a year. After college, I was like, I have my own business. I can do whatever I want. But it turns out if you want to make money and you want to be able to really do whatever you want, you got to get up and make yourself work. And I had to learn that the hard way. But now that I know it, it's a breeze.
Yes, indeed. Colors. Let's talk about colors.
Let's talk about colors.
Because in photography, some photographers, or probably all photographers, have a certain color for their background. They try to make
it's called a color grade.
There it is.
Yep.
Let's get into that.
All right. What do you want to know about it?
I want to know, you're on a beach at 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
It's more clouds than sun.
Okay.
And you're getting ready to shoot. A young lady, she got to do a cover for Sports Illustrated cover. And she can only do it that day. You wish it was more sun out there. How do you get the best out of that experience and make her still look great?
All right. So the first thing you got to worry about is light and shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's cloudy,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually your friend. Like, it looks good to have a blue sky. Don't get me wrong. Like, that really does come out good sometimes. But what you don't want is shadows on their faces or shadows on their bodies that's going to distort the way that they look. So as a photographer, I love an overcast day. It's like it takes the light and fizzes it out. So you don't have harsh shadows on anywhere on your body.
Whoa.
So I wouldn't be deterred by the fact that it's cloudy out. Mm-hmm. Also, if you're on a beach, you probably have sand. Mm-hmm. Sand is going to bounce that light onto their faces, and it's going to give you that really clear light that's going to make their skin tones glow and look really good. So you love a beach. What I would probably do to get a little distortion, I would either put them to where they're kind of by the water or kind of by some maybe like seagrass. That way you have a little contrast between the background and their tones and what they have going on. Use a camera with some pretty shallow depth so that they're very in focus, especially if it's for a cover, because they're going to have to put words around their heads.
Right.
And as in terms of color grading, once you have taken the photos and get them into your computer, what you're going to want to do is highlight their skin tones, their eyes, and whatever bathing suit that they're wearing if we're, on a beach. So in post-production, you would, just play with your curve and make sure that your lighting is correct and their skin tones look very natural, and elevate the contrast so that you can really have them pop off of the background, which is going to be mostly white and cream tones if it's overcast and you're on a beach.
Let me tell you why I'm clapping. I try to give her a hard question. She took my question, twisted it up, whipped it real good like our old grandma whipping back in the day, and took my question and just threw it over the cliff. This young lady has dropped knowledge on a question I gave her, and I try to I tried my best to give her something hard, but as you can see, she is not playing with this, ladies and gentlemen. She is not playing. She gave you science.
That's
She gave us science on this. I mean, pure D science. And I know a lot of people's gonna rewind and rewind and rewind this interview because this girl is dropping knowledge on cameras, and I'm learning.
I got a little practice.
Yes, you did. At 23 years old, we going to vote you as president one day.
I don't know if I got time for that.
Absolutely. It's all about time, ladies and gentlemen, and she takes her time very seriously. Okay, I gave you one of the harder questions, so
now you're going to give me a softball?
yeah, I'm going to stay in my lane because evidently it's nothing I can ask you. You wouldn't know about it when concerning camera. Well, I know pictures, you just blew me away with that. Let's get into videography.
Video.
Oh.
All right. What you want to know?
You said earlier you make movies.
Absolutely.
All right. A movie has to have a treatment, right? Right?
A whole storyline. It has to be a whole thing.
A whole storyline. Okay. So how many movies have you thought of and you actually start making it, or let me ask you this: how many movies you have thought of, period, that's on paper or in your phone, and you still got to get to them?
I think a lot of people do this too. Kind of like tell myself stories all day, and build characters in your head, even if it's you or somebody else. I have a lot of those, and then every once in a while, there's one that I think is worth writing down, and I definitely in my little notepad on my phone probably have a solid 20 of those that I haven't really got in depth on. It's like a scene or two, just a continuous storyline. So it kind of like goes through my head all day anyway, like daydreaming, but there isn't a lot that I have really sat down and taken the time to write a script or really storyboard. But
wow,
it's like when you're creative, you kind of see movies in your head all the time. You kind of see the world a little bit differently than someone who is more analytical. So, I mean, I've got a constant sitcom running in my own brain. So at least I can keep myself entertained.
Yes, you can. So over 20 movies you have thought of. That is insane. I mean, you're definitely, you must have been heaven sent down here, because I haven't met a 23-year-old that has your energy, your motivation, and you're inspired to wake up every day to do something.
At least something.
At least something. So we're going to stay on videography. We're going to stay on movies. I can tell that you're real passionate about that right now. Okay. If you had a chance right now, Paramount say, hey, we love the pictures. I know it's more things you can do besides photography. You tell them, yeah, I love film. I love to make movies. They say, all right, I tell you what, we're going to contract you out for 3 movies. This is Paramount talking to you. And it's the budget that you
That's a big boy.
The budget that you like with these 3 movies. What would be the first out of those 3 movies that you already got wrote down and they just ready to have a budget behind them?
You know what I really want to see that I haven't really ever seen in Netflix or anything that's really come out is a mainstream movie that doesn't really have a storyline based on love. I want to see a movie that goes through maybe the day-to-day life of a sports reporter.
Okay.
And find a way to make that interesting without having a love interest.
Wow.
Because realistically, like, love is an important part of our lives, but I think it's kind of a cop-out in the movie industry that every single movie seems to have a storyline based on, these 2 people are going to get together.
Right.
I want to see someone grind out and make a career for themselves, and maybe all their relationships don't work out because of it. That's realistic. I would love to see a movie like that. I would love to make a movie like that.
So you mean to tell me, and you know what, you just opened up my mind a lot, because you are absolutely right. A lot of movies start off that you're going to get this in-depth look on someone's life, grind, and hustle.
Mm-hmm.
But they do throw a curveball with the love scene. And then next thing you know, the whole movie start getting based
It's a
around
love
the
story.
love scene. It's a love story. So you just want to capture the grind and the hustle.
I
and
would
the-
love that because really, I know people personally that it might not be the healthiest, but they close themselves off to romantic relationships because they want to grow their career. They want to see what they can do by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never seen that on the big screen.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I want you to go ahead and make this.
Start working on it.
Yeah, I want to start working on that. I definitely would need a part in that movie. I'm plugging myself right now, ladies
Go
and
ahead.
gentlemen. Yeah, I got to do that.
I'll see where I can stick you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you let Paramount know they're paying for it.
I can be in the crowd scene. So, okay, that'll be your first movie. A movie without a love scene. I have never, ever seen a movie without a love scene. That would be unique.
I think so.
Very unique. Okay. I'm going to pick the second movie for you.
Okay.
Now, this is going to touch a nerve.
Let me know.
Because the second movie, you're not going to even direct it. You're going to be co-director. You're going to be co-producer on everything that you do very well. You're going to be assistant to it. Why? Because this is going to be the story of your life. You're going to be in the movie, K Beats.
That's crazy.
This is your life.
Biopic.
This is your life. So
They better pick someone cute to play me.
No. Only person that's gonna play you is from age 5 to you get out of college. Then
Okay.
after that, the movie, you are in the movie.
Oh, I have to
So
be
you
the
only
main
got
actor.
you the main actor. So
You're right.
yeah.
That does strike a nerve. Being in
That's
front of a
like
camera.
nerve, doesn't it? You in front of the camera. You're not behind the scenes no more. Are you able to capture yourself and do a great job?
I would hope I'd be able to. I'd have a lot to
Right.
learn. I've never acted before. But I think if there's any character I could play, it would definitely be myself. Because at least I've got that built-in, sense of humor and the cadence that is me.
Well, at least in the first half of the movie, you'll get to, co-direct the young
Absolutely.
lady that's going to play. You probably 2 young ladies, a little girl and then a teenage girl. Adulthood will be you. You'll be in the movie then. But until they get to you in the movie, you have an opportunity to, let them know what you went through.
Absolutely.
And let everybody know what's your next adventure in this.
My next adventure coming up soon or
Yes,
big
coming
goal?
up soon. Yes.
I am about to fly out to New York the day after tomorrow. I'm going to work iHeartRadio Z100's Jingle Ball,
Wow.
which is in the end of December.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing yet, but I will definitely have my camera, and I'm really excited. It's the biggest event that I think I've worked ever
Wow.
in New York City
Congratulations.
at Madison Square Garden. So hopefully I'll be able to make the best of it. I always try to at least make the best of it. But just to be in that arena, I think is really, really cool.
It's really, really cool to have you on the show, and you're going to always make the best of anything that you put your hands on or your camera on. There it is. I done gave it to you. Anything you put your camera on, it's just going to turn into a magical, never-ending story. I'm so glad to have you here. I wish you the best.
Thank you.
I mean, from all over the world. Make sure y'all look for this young lady. Let them know where they can go right now to follow you.
You can find me at my website, KaylaBeatty.com, or KBeats Photos on Instagram.
That is so amazing. And who would you like to thank before we leave?
I would like to thank my parents for buying me my first camera when I was
Yes.
14 years old, and my grandpa for teaching me how to use it.
Yes.
I'd also like to thank you for getting me here tonight. Thank you so much.
I have to buy you a drink now. It's in the K Beats. That's her name. You're going to see her here on Coastal Spotlight, ladies and gentlemen. She has been our VIP exclusive interview for tonight, where you can catch us every Tuesday, every Friday, inside the Hard Rock at the Sugar Factory. Well, we get ready to sign off. It was a pleasure to have you here,
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
and the pleasure was mine. All right, Coastal Spotlight, we signing off. Thank you. I want to thank y'all once again for tuning in to Coastal Spotlight. You made it to the end of another episode. I appreciate that. And we appreciate that here at Coastal Spotlight. And we also want to thank the Sugar Factory inside Hard Rock, Biloxi. That's right, Sugar Factory have great food and fantastic drinks. In front of me, I have two of my favorite drinks, Sour Apple Lolly, Caramel Macchiato Martini. You can only find these drinks at Sugar Factory. Thank you and good night.